Well, yeah. Okay. There's a better place. So, hello, everyone that's joining. Welcome to the Global Goddess Fest, where men and women are tuning in to receive education, connect with some global leaders, and gain inspiration on how to create the life of your dreams. So,
Oh.
super excited to have you here, Amber Lilly. Yay! And she's going to be sharing a little bit about singing for freedom. And for those of you that know, she's an amazing musician. Her music, it's so beautiful because it's really about like reclaiming this health and wholeness. And her voice is like this salve. I love how she says it. She says it's a salve for personal and social wounds, which is like, wow, that's so beautifully put. And that is like what your music does. And I've been able to, see you live, and that's exactly what it is. It's just like love streaming at you. So it's fun. And I love how, you just to give a little bit more of an introduction. So Amber and lives in Hawaii, and having her family and living close to nature is a big part of her foundation for her music. And she has roots on her family farm in Hawaii, which I want to hear about, and has teamed up with musician and partner Tubby Love, and both of them are bringing music together, bringing it from the garden to the globe, which is it's just like so in alignment with what we're doing here with Global Goddess. Is how can we, connect with ourselves, so that way we can connect to each other, so that way we can connect on this global level and reconnect with the earth. And use the arts and use this connection, use this love to really put back into the planet, so we can get her happy again, right? Because she's definitely crying out right now. And both Tubby and Amber this duo is known for leaving a crowd of strangers, leading them into just like singing together, holding each other during choruses. And it's just such a beautiful way to be sharing this message. So thank you so much for doing your work and sharing that. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so, we're kind of here. I wanted to bring you in to talk about being a creative vessel, and using your voice to be a creative vessel. So I wanted to, just hear from your mouth. What does that mean to you?
Wow. It means so much to me. I mean, everything you just said is so potent because, you know, this last even day I've been feeling so much. And our beaches right now here, we live there, there's so many beautiful beaches on this island. And my family came home. I heard from 3 different family members about how polluted the beaches are right now, how so much sand has been pulled out and revealed all this concrete underneath and all this plastic that's stuck in the concrete and all the micro trash. There's so much plastic showing up on our beaches here. And more than, there's something with the tides and being that we're an island in the middle of the Pacific, a lot of the trash ends up on our beaches. So my family, I heard from 3 different members saying that each, like they said, I cried. Like I cried on the beach. And my partner and I talked about it last night, and he said, we've gotten a get out of jail free card for a long time. We just get to throw away, and now we're really seeing it. So, well, I cried last night and I've been feeling it today of, yeah, just like you said, like how whether it's the earth is hurting or we're hurting, or it's the species that are dying, it's the fish that are eating the microplastic because they think it's food and it's everywhere in the ocean. Like there's a lot, like my heart is just breaking open. And as one of my greatest teachers, Joanna Macy, which I don't know if you know her, but whoever's listening to this, look her up. She's in her late 80s now, and she's been an activist and anti-nuclear activist, and just works and lives for the planet. And she talks about letting the heart break open so that we can feel, because many of us, most of us, still me throughout my day, even this morning, like feel myself going so fast and and then when I slow down, I'm like, wow, like I'm really hurting inside. I'm really sad for yeah, it's a beautiful time and it's a sad time and it's all wrapped up in one. And for me, like when I have a song about letting my heart break open, heart break open wide. Oh, I let the world inside. And when I'm denying what I'm really feeling, uh, the magic happens when I let myself break open. And especially for me, it's through then expressing in song and through my voice. And then I can face the depth of what I'm feeling, which is that sadness or that heartbreak that I'm talking about right now. But then it can transform into the beauty of art and music and sound and just that healing. That's my personal salve, singing is that. It's like an ointment that rubs on my heart. It's like, okay, well, I don't know if it's what it's gonna be, and it is so heartbreaking for now, and like just that beauty of feeling it and expressing it, something really magical and relieving happens in that.
Mm. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think there's a like, just being able to feel like
Mm.
such depth is also such a gift that we have as humans. And we
Wow. Yeah.
for those that maybe aren't don't have their creativity like right in the forefront, it can become like hidden in the closet, and it's like so easy to be walking through your life. And you said it even earlier, you're like going so fast, we have to be here, we have to meet this person, we can like totally numb out. And so like how
Mm,
beautiful is that, that when we can like connect with ourselves in that way, so that way we can really feel what is happening, and
yeah.
like where does our focus need to be. So yeah.
Right.
So
Really good
so
question.
beautifully put. And I love how you say, you're both like wildly heartbroken
Mm,
and inspired by the state of the
mm-hmm.
world.
Right.
Like if you were to, can you narrow it down to like what is the number
Mm.
one thing that you think we should be focusing on?
Uh,
Or like number one thing that you want to bring light to, or
yeah.
and also like with that thing, is there any way, simple things that people can do that are watching that can kind of
Mm,
transform their daily lives to like
mm,
help their part?
that's such a good question. Just being here now, having this conversation, I'm like, this is such a beautiful step.
Mm.
There's so many issues, right? We could talk about each of the individual focal points. And if I were going to say one thing, and I would say that it's for people to reconnect with themselves and the earth. And like, really, truly, we are alive now because we're here very specifically to be in these times, this transition time where we're seeing a lot of these solutions. And we're like, what? We're still like the trash. And so, like, anyone who has that ache inside or that numbingness, or just, we have that knowingness that there's more, like there's something else for me. Like, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this job.
Mhm.
Maybe I actually really want to sing, or I really am really interested in natural building. Whatever it is, there is this voice inside most of us, most people I've ever connected to,
Mhm.
that if we really are, you know, if we give it, if we are brave enough and have that courage to really listen, it tells us, some people are researching mushrooms and how mushrooms can heal the earth, or how mushrooms can help in oil leaks. Or there are people that are right now figuring out what to do with all this plastic in the ocean. The island that's as big as Texas. And that's their freaking passion. But they had to really let go of whatever else they were doing, being locked into the, okay, this is how I'm supposed to live my life. Like, so that for me is a huge thing. And that's one thing we aim to connect to with our music is like, physics says that like vibration will resonate another, what's the actual, I'm trying to think of the law of physics. Well, basically it's like if I sing a note, I don't know if you can hear it, but ooh, ooh, the guitar will sing with me, right? I'm
Mhm.
not physically touching it, but literally vibration will bring to life another vibration. So we see that in music. You've been to a concert where, you just leave feeling so alive, right? So
Mhm.
that's sort of our aim, is like if we can sing into the part in people that knows that there's a way, knows that there's a point for us being here. And that is like the entry point into the world of solution, you know? Like
Mhm.
we each have a gift to give to address the major issues that we see, which of course are in everything. It's the energy that we use, it's the food that we eat, the animal industry, yeah, take your pick. But
Mhm.
if I were going to say it would be belief in the self, that if you have that calling, like that there is something greater for me to be part of and be doing, it's because it's real. And it's painful to recognize because it comes with being unsatisfied sometimes with the life we're currently living.
Mhm.
But for me, it would be breathing life into that, you know?
Mm. Beautifully put. I love that.
Mm.
And so, like, when you're talking about, singing and you're kind of like singing to these little to the parts of the people that are like, oh, I know I need to wake up or I need to change. Like, do you think it's
Mm.
so that's like that happens to them, right? Do you think it's important for them
Mm-hmm.
to then like find their voice and like where do
Mm.
you think it's important for them to like sing? I don't, it kind of
Yeah,
sounds silly, but um
totally. I do.
yeah.
On a very literal level and metaphorical, all of the above, yes. I think in terms of like directly with singing, my belief, and it is literally physics, that we are made of vibration, we are made of energy. And it's my belief that everyone can sing, everyone is musical. And I know in my personal life story, I grew up singing and was very held by my family and encouraged to sing, you know. And
Mhm.
then I still had a period of life in my teenage years where I shut up because I got so scared. You know, it's really scary to like make sound, to make a vibration into the world. And, you know, like, I don't know what people are thinking of me, and it's, you know, and I think a lot of people experience that. And so what I've noticed is that when the people get comfortable with music, feel safe in a space, I've never heard a voice that isn't beautiful. And I've heard a lot of voices. But when we get contracted and we're like, oh, so that dude's judging me, like she's good at singing, so I can't sing next to her. Then we sing and like we go off pitch and all the things, you know. But yeah, it's really healthy. It is so healthy to sing.
Yeah, and just to like liberate your voice. Oh,
Ah,
feels good
and
too. Your body is just like,
it
oh,
feels, yeah,
I want that. I
yeah.
need that.
I need that expression. I need the release.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, were you ever told that you didn't have a good voice?
I don't think I was ever told that. I know a lot of people were told that in their lives. I hear
Hmm.
that all the time.
Or did you? I mean,
That
did you ever
they're,
feel like you didn't have a good voice? Um,
I've definitely felt like my voice isn't good enough, you
mhm.
know, or in
Yeah.
comparison to others, it's the comparison thing. Like, oh, I
Mhm.
can't do what she does. Like, oh, she's, you know, like that. Yeah. That I've
Yeah.
been really, uh, yeah. How
What
about
has
you?
what's been Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, I'm a singer as well, and I think,
Uh-huh.
like, when I think back to it and, I get asked, like, no one really was like, "Oh, you have a terrible voice," but it was the inner critic that
Yeah.
was telling me, "You don't have a good enough voice, you shouldn't sing," and then, like, that constriction sort of thing. Yeah. It's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have like a tool that you would share with
So
anyone
real.
that's watching? How do you make that first step out
Mm.
of that feeling of like, oh, I don't want anyone to hear me?
Right? Such a good question. Well, an easy step is what a lot of people are already doing. People sing when they feel safe. People sing in their cars by themselves, along with a CD, you know? Like, that's great. Keep doing that for one. Or in their shower, there's the classic, like, you think no one can hear you, and the shower's a resonant space, right? So it holds the vibration, and the voice is more powerful in there, and we tend to like it. So I don't know. It would be like creating. creating spaces like that. And then okay, so what I've noticed is like I still, are at fires, we have like campfires and people sing. I for so long would still be like, no, 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 I'm not gonna sing. Like, still scared. Kind of for me, it was the story of like, who am I to make a sound? Who am I to, make an impact on the world? Like, I don't know, I can't do that. It's scary. But I started feeling like if I don't, I would feel sick at the end of the night, like soul sick, and because I had made that decision, like I know it's good for me and I want to share my voice because it feels good. And I started to realize when I didn't, like I'd be given the opportunities, right? Be like,
Mhm.
well, here's my chance. And of course, it would be like you can either confront your fear and do what you love that's going to make you feel good. And when I would do it, oh, I'd be so rewarded, you know? Or it became to where it got extreme and the opposite, I would feel like sick at the end of the night and be like, wow, I just like missed out on an opportunity to live and create beauty. And like people love when other people express freely. They care way more for that than for the quality of the sound. That's what
Mhm.
I've found. That, that's hard.
Totally.
And we're going to be confronted by our fears if we want to be.
Mhm. And I think that, like, resonates so much with, like, sickness, and, like,
Mm,
thinking about how, like, sickness is at these, like, crazy high levels and, like, um, is that related to literally holding in our
yeah,
biggest gifts and talents, you know?
totally.
Mhm.
It
All
is.
interconnected for sure. Do you feel
Yeah.
like singing has or like how has singing influenced you outside of like
Mm,
that? Outside of like actually just being a musician or a singer?
yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's completely transformed my life. Like it being because it is like I have to express my voice. That's what it is. I find that when I'm doing that, it liberates me in every single way. Like I can say what I need to say to people. I'm no longer like afraid to speak. I've lived a lot of my life kind of in this fear realm, of like I don't really want to tell that person that because they might think I don't like them and then I won't be liked and then whatever. Like it is very empowering in every aspect of my life,
Mm,
and I just feel more connected to my purpose, like less questions of what the F am I doing here, which I've also spent a lot of time thinking about, but rather like, whoa, here's an issue and I now have the energy to address it.
mhm.
So
What do you think shifted you from like not having the energy to having the energy?
To address things or in singing or what?
Yeah, I think more general speaking.
Yeah. I mean, the more I don't know if what I was saying is that the more I connect to giving my gift in the world, the more energy I feel I have. I don't really know why.
Mm,
Maybe it's because it's like you're saying, I'm not holding back that energy. I'm letting it move so I have the energy to respond. Also, specifically, I'm doing like body cleansing right now, so I am getting more energy
yeah.
because
What type of body cleansing?
station. I'm taking a break right now from all sugars, including fruits and starches and grains that turn to sugar, because most of us have some sort of pathogens in our bodies. A lot of people have parasites and don't know. That's a big issue that really needs to be talked about. Actually, when I walk around any gas station or stores, I see the sickness in people, and we've become so accustomed to it, accustomed to not being fully alive that we think it's how we're meant to be. But I know it's not, and I'm taking big steps in that way because I want to have the energy that it takes to respond. Like, okay, I need to plant more trees. That's going to really help offset the fact that I fly in planes so much to go do my work. But if I just feel lethargic because I have parasites in my body, and just taking steps to get myself into a more upful state so I can really respond because the world, we really need it. We
Mhm.
need to be at our top game, really.
Totally. And so I just love, your like deep connection with nature. And
Mm,
I know a lot of your songs, sing about nature
yeah.
and sing about music.
Mm.
What's one of your like favorite things to do in nature?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. It's to melt. by any means that I can, to just melt. And sometimes that means running. Like I I love running, and I've just realized I love running. I've been fighting it a long time, but that feeling of like it helps me, like if I can outrun my mind, you know,
Mhm.
just like getting into my body, and then I feel the endorphins, and then I just feel I melt into all that is. Like when I get to that point beyond trying to understand, last night I took a walk and I just looked at the moon and these clouds all as the sun set and just the colors and everything. I just let myself melt and become part of it. And now that's easier for me because I know it's true. I live like, I don't know if you can see, I feel like it's worth showing. I
Please.
basically live in a tree house. Like our
Gorgeous.
goats here. We go outside to go to the compost toilet. We grow our own food, a lot of it right here. And for me, I need to be this close to the earth. I need more green around me than buildings and humans to really remind me that I'm part of this, because the story of our culture, of our dominant culture, is very different than underlying all that is you can't trust yourself, and you definitely can't trust the earth, and we're just very separated from it. So yeah, my favorite thing would be just to live close to the earth and gardening, all of it.
Mm. Yeah, and
Running wild if I can, naked through the forest. That would be my ideal. I
I
don't do that too much.
I love it.
Ocean, water, oh, urging the self in the water.
Mm. Yeah, there's nothing like it. And I love, being able to bring that essence into music or art, whatever, expression you have. And like you can feel that because you bring it into these cities, and it's
Mm.
concrete jungles, but all of a sudden you like hear the ocean and you feel the sunlight on your face, even if you're in a dark
Oh,
music venue, So
yeah.
yeah, it's very palpable,
Yeah,
very
I have to get
tangible.
that.
hmm
Yeah.
so I know you've performed alongside of some incredibly talented musicians. So just
Mm.
to name a few for those that are watching, we have Trevor Hall, Nako Medicine for the People, Dustin Thomas, Mike Love, Paul Isaac, and they all really share this similar message of love and liberation.
Yeah.
So a question that I have for you is, I'm like looking through this list. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. And the thing that stands out to me is that you're the only female.
Oh, in that list, right?
Yeah. So I just
Oh,
wanted to, what is that like for you?
that's a really good topic. Thank you for bringing that up. I mean, it's interesting because in my home life, and my mom and my brother's wife is my sister. I have these beautiful women, and then every time I leave here, I end up most times being surrounded by men. Like, wow. Okay, here's a band we're playing with: drummer, bass, guitar player. It's all dudes. Here, look at the lineup of most any festival that I've been going to, and 8 out of 10 are going to be all men. And then some, there's like the few women groups, and then there'll be the woman with a male band. It's like, it is crazy. And part of that comes from, I think, like that men are more encouraged to express themselves maybe in that way growing up, as kids. Like boys are more often told, like, here, play the drums, than girls are. Not because
Mhm.
boys are more rhythmic, it's just part of our culture. And but I'm seeing more and more women like really emerging. It's amazing. It's kind of happening where like we're believing in ourselves, and we realize that we can do this. Oh, we are good enough, and we do it differently, and that's a beautiful thing. And for me, like, it's amazing because I get to really look at that story head on, the masculine feminine dynamic, because I'm creating with my partner all the time, and we often are processing that very thing, like me being like, you're whole, like, I don't feel like you're listening to me, and then I start to write that story of, you're a dude and I'm a good, it's because of that. And then we get to really unpack it, a lot, and realize, no, that's not true. And most of the men that I'm surrounded with are amazing, and they're so supportive of me, and for them, like, they're just so grateful there's this feminine essence at all in the project that it's really beautiful. But I'm definitely like, I'm really curious because I think it's a different thing when a group of women creates a sound altogether. The different approach it can be than a group of men. So I'm really looking forward to the more and more strong feminine voices as they emerge.
Mhm.
Is your experience similar as you travel?
Definitely. Yeah, I'm always the only female. And that's why I'm so excited with this project. I have my band
Mm,
that is like my muse and everything I live for, and literally me and all these other guys. And then I've been able to develop this women's work, which is so near and dear. So
oh,
it's helped me create this beautiful balance. But I am really, really curious in diving into these conversations with other females that are holding that sort of energy
mhm,
amongst these big groups of guys. And I think, like, looking outside of even just the music industry, there's so many industries that are heavily male dominated, and just the
yeah,
workforce in general. So this is a
mhm,
topic that I just really want to, bring up and start talking about,
mm,
because once I got into the music industry, I really didn't know that I hadn't really put the dots together of like, oh yeah, all the musicians I know are guys. So it definitely has its unique struggles, but also
mm,
the beauty of it. Um, but I think
yeah,
it's a very potent topic to talk about right now, and how we can really
mm,
support the women that are stepping into their leader, if it's in the arts or business or whatever
yeah,
they're doing. So that way,
yeah,
how can we feel empowered and support each other, because it is
yeah,
hard, and we do have things that are actually making it harder for us than men right now. And so
right,
how do we,
right,
stand up, say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we're sharing, this is important for you to hear, and then also being able to receive the men. And it sounds like you're in a similar position that I am in. I have
yeah.
so much support from these guys,
Oh my god, it's
and
epic.
it's epic because they want
It
this too. They want
mhm,
the female to rise up as well.
yeah, they
Yeah.
need it. I
Mhm.
mean, the people you mentioned, like the way that Trevor has brought me up with him and given me so much love, and Dustin, like Dustin just melts, when I sing or when any women sing, he's like, oh, thank God, like, and Tubby too, and they're just like, these specific guys are waiting, they're like, okay, okay, women, like, no, it's safe, I swear, like, we will be your protectors, like, we will hold the structure of the song for you, like, we need your voices, and it's been for me to be able to go, really? I'm really safe here? Are you sure? Oh,
Mhm.
oh, oh, and then like, and I encourage women that too, like to not be afraid of these partners of being lifted up by the masculine, because a lot of men are really ready. They're
Mhm.
really ready to hold space and let us really shine because they know everyone needs it.
Totally. Is there something that, a little message that you would say to anyone that's watching that is maybe, a female singer that hasn't really stepped into performing or something like that? Or, what would you say to yourself um, in
Oh
that
my
sort of way?
gosh. Right? What did I say to myself a couple of years ago?
Mhm.
Oh, well, I would say, again, if you feel it and you know it is true, sing, trust it, go for it. And what helped me, like, was surrounding myself with people that believe in me, that believe in me. Because I and we will often go back into our shells. But once you let the world hear your voice and the people around you who care about you know, they're not going to let you forget. They're going to be like, hello, like, please sing your song. I need it. Or they'll play the chords or whatever it is. So it'd be like, go for it, go for it. Let go and surround ourselves with the ones that really get it and believe in us. Even if that's one person or two people, or if not, like, pull up and cultivate it with yourself. You
Mm.
know?
I love it. Yes, so
And
all
let
of
go.
you.
All of us. Oh, the other thing is, all of us, anyone you've heard that you love and respect their music has doubted their music and continues to. It's just part of the game. Like everyone has thought they're not good enough because we're human, you know? So we're not special in that way when we have those fears and want to hold back our gifts.
Hmm. Yeah, and it could be just another way for us to connect deeper on another level. So yeah, definitely. It's real, and I think also that that fear can like help drive us forward
Yeah.
too, and help keep
Yeah.
us going. Okay, we're not quite there yet. Keep going, keep practicing, keep working on yourself,
Yeah.
keep
You're
finding
right.
your mission and
Yeah, exactly. Cultivate it more. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
awesome.
spend time with the art and fall so deeply in love with it that you can't help but share it with the world.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
love it.
And
Well,
write a song about it. Write about it. Sing about it. That's what I like to do, like directly to it. Like, oh, I feel so. Oh, one of mine was, dear insecurities, consider this my last goodbye. I'm here to tell you that I'm leaving you behind. Directly to it. Like, oh,
I love
use
it.
my fire to like kick you out.
No more. There's no space for you.
Yeah.
Mm, totally. Well, so anyone that's watching, Amber has a free gift for you of her
Mm,
album download. So that link I'll be sending out and also will be on the Goddess Fest website. So definitely check that out. You're going to love her music if you haven't listened to it before. Put it on in your car, put
mm.
it on when you're cleaning your room, put it on when you're going for
Yeah.
a run.
Is
Yeah,
it linked to the Bandcamp I gave you?
yeah, yeah.
It might need to be my email because I don't know if that's gonna work. I've never done this
Okay.
before, but I want people to
Yeah,
get a gift.
yeah, we can work it out
So
and
we'll
we'll make
figure
sure to get it to them. Yeah, definitely.
it
And you're currently recording your debut full-length album called Wild,
out.
and it's going to be released in 2018. That is so exciting. Yes.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, wow, it's been amazing. I released my first, like, it was 6 songs, so more of an EP 2 years ago. And it was these songs I was holding, and Tubby helped me. We did it in our little tiny shack, like super cool. But I wanted it to be just very, very basic, acoustic, instruments that I understand and can play. And it was beautiful, and I've appreciated it, and I've grown a lot since then. And in this one we're now playing with sounds, not only real instruments, but we're working with Ableton, which is, the program. You probably know about it, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
if you want to describe it for anyone that's
yeah,
watching that doesn't know.
recording platform or program, and it's the one really being used with the sounds on the radio, or the big artist sounds, and you use samples of different instruments, and so you can kind of beef up tracks. So that's funny, beef up. um we are, yeah, so I'm working with that, and at the same time it's called Wild, and it it like kind of speaks to that everything is still wild, but the truth is, like, look, my house is like made of a metal roof, and we still drive cars, and we're figuring all this shit out. We're kind of in between it all. So we're using real instruments, we're using computer sounds. The idea is, like, we're still wild, and some of us are living in the cities, we're still wild, like that's all going to be gone eventually. And it's, sort of playing with the bridge between that all, so it's still like the essence of that, but it's a more produced sound as well. And yeah, we're going to give it the chance to really make some waves and get out there, because these messages that we're all carrying are really important, and some people don't know that there's another way to be living. They don't know that a lot of people are feeling sick and confused, and that there are ways to really quell that and reconnect to the self and community, so the idea is to get it out there and be heard by people that have a palette also for bigger sounds. So it's really
Awesome.
exciting.
Cannot wait.
Woo!
Congratulations on that project. Do you know when it'll be released in 2018?
you know um I don't know. maybe even June or late spring. We're gonna do some single releases and some videos, and yeah, just
Awesome.
get out there, you know.
We'll keep our eyes and ears open for it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for coming onto the Global Goddess Fest. And we want to hear some music from you. So thank you so much for the interview part. And everyone stay
Oh,
tuned for a little bit of music from Amber Lilly.
thank you.